WineDown kickoff in 3 minutes is going to be a great show today. So I'm really excited about today. Welcome to the WineDown. Today, word for the day is business. Every time you hear the word business, make sure you take a drink out your cup. If you are in the audience and you hear the word business, go ahead and put it in there. Let everybody know that you heard it so everybody can drink. The last show of the year. This is the last WineDown of the year. So, hey, come one, come all. I'm excited. I'm so excited for our guest today. I've known him for a lot of years. Hey, Portia. Hey, Siobhan. Welcome to the WineDown tonight. Word of the day is business. Get your business together. Come on, somebody. Hey, I hope you got your glasses full because we're going to make sure I say it extra just so we can get y'all nice and tipsy tonight. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Put it in the chat. What y'all do for Thanksgiving? How did y'all spend the holiday? I was up in New Jersey. With the family. Just saying you can't text or you'll be kicked off. Oh, if you text, you'll get kicked off. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was in New Jersey with the family. We just spent some good time up there. We went to see the piano lesson. That was so dope. It had Samuel Jackson in there. I don't know Denzel Washington's son's name with his fine self, but he was in there. He showed out. Gabrielle Brooks, she was in The Color Purple, but she was also in Orange is the New Black. She has a show on Netflix. Great. We got a chance to meet her. So, hey, Queenie, got a chance to meet her. So that was pretty cool seeing all of those actors come out. And seeing that show, it wasn't like a normal musical, so it was like a real play. So I feel like I'm growing up a little bit. What y'all know? What's going on with y'all? So Trina said she just relaxed most of the day. She had to work on Friday, so she didn't do too much. Siobhan, how did you spend Thanksgiving? Orange is the New Black. You love oranges. Yeah, we got to see her. She gave me an autograph, came up on my little camera. I was like a super fan. I had my little camera out. I was a little shy, so Nina had to take the lead and went on and got the autograph for me because I normally don't do that, but I love her. It was a great show. It was a great show. If you get a chance to get up to New York, catch a Broadway. The piano lesson is a great show. So you will love it. How many of y'all been watching the news lately? Y'all hear about Tory Lanez finally in trial for the alleged assault, and I say alleged assault against Megan Thee Stallion. He's facing 23 years in jail. That's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy because, I mean, if he shot the girl, I believe he shot the girl. But, you know, you can't just be shooting people because you got little man syndrome. But yeah, Tory Lanez is facing 23 years on the assault trial against Megan Thee Stallion, and it's finally in trial. So everybody I know is looking forward to seeing that come out. Dead all the rumors. You know, we ready to move on from that because that was a big blow to the hip hop community having to deal with that. What y'all see about that Kanye West and Kim? You know, I know we tired of talking about Kanye West. I ain't gonna lie. But we can't stop talking about Kanye because he in the news. But this time, you know, I ain't gonna lie. I'm cool with the $200,000. But did y'all see about the finalizing the divorce? $200,000 a month. He sure does have little man syndrome. Yes. You can't go shoot people because you mad. You can't do that. Yeah, but did y'all see Kanye West and Kim Kardashian finally finalized their divorce? So Kanye got hit. I don't know if it's $200,000 a month. You know, it's a lot of speculation surrounding that $200,000 situation. So I don't really know what's going on with that. But it say $200,000 a month or 50%. 50% on the just trying to read. But 50% on the healthcare he still gotta pay. So, and he got shared custody. You know, a lot of people think like, you know, with $200,000 in shared custody, that's a lot because you gotta maintain 2 houses. But I don't know, they came up with something. Got him for 200. And also they both billionaires, so 200,000 is like 200 a month to them for us. So it is what it is. Hey Maria, welcome to the WineDown. Happy to have you today. Word of the day today, you guys, is business. So when you hear the word business today, make sure you take your drink. Hope you got your wine glasses full. We drinking today. Word of the day is business. Today we got my friend, my very special brother from the USS America. He's joining us today to talk about his book, Rich Kids Biz. So I'm excited. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to have a good time. I want you guys to bring your questions. If you have questions, make sure you bring your questions to Jay. He's ready to answer all of your questions. If you got a friend that need to be here, we go wait a couple of minutes before we bring him on. But if you got a friend that need to be here, make sure you get your friend on here. So I was watching Instagram today. We just talking right now. So if y'all got anything, make sure y'all add it. Y'all know we don't stay quiet on the WineDown. So don't stay quiet tonight. We need y'all input. We need y'all questions because we got my brother here who is excited to share with you guys about his new book. And we want to make sure that, he's energized. So we got to get y'all energized. So I'm on Instagram and I seen this article come up. I don't know if y'all seen it because apparently it's trending. But it was talking about this guy who had his daughter for Thanksgiving holidays, right? The mama brought the daughter over. To his family house. Her hair was looking a hot mess. He put pictures up. The hair was a mess. So he had his wife redo the girl's hair. And the wife done took down the girl's hair and start sending him text messages talking about everybody wasted their time, got my daughter sitting there for no reason. Why you got this? How do y'all feel about that? I know co-parenting is weird. I know touching kids' hair is weird. But if you know your daughter is looking a hot mess and somebody do it, would that offend you? How would that make you feel? Hey, Monica, welcome to the WineDown. Monica about to have a baby. Well, we ain't gonna wish nothing on that. I just hope she able to keep doing her baby hair and not have to worry about the other side. Maria, how would you feel about, somebody doing Michaela's hair, the ex? Damn, y'all quiet today. I got a few waves. Got a few haze. I would say thanks for helping. Thank you, Courtney. I would too. I think that's a good I would say thanks for helping. I mean, golly, you obviously overworked if you can't do your kid hair. Cousin, you on here. Welcome to the WineDown tonight. Word of the day is business. I'm not going to hold you guys too much longer. I wouldn't send her off looking. Hey, first of all, let's get that straight, right? I'm going to go ahead and add Jay on as a friend of mine, right? His name is Jay Council. I met Jay on board the USS America. Hey, Jay.
Hey,
welcome to the WineDown. You sideways.
Oh,
Yeah, so for those of you, I want to welcome Jay. I want to give him a very, very warm welcome. I'm so happy for you to be here today. I met Jay on board the USS America. We talked about this about a month ago, how some organizations make you feel like you're part of something that's so huge, so much bigger than yourself. When I met Jay, he always walked around like he was bigger than the organization, and not in a cocky way, but you can always tell that he had something to add to the world, something big to contribute to the world. And I'll let you know, I never said this to you, but that's what initially gave you my respect, the way that you carried yourself, the way that you took care of yourself. And I'm really, really excited to be a part of your journey. And I'm really excited to have you here today to talk about your new book, Rich Kids Biz Volume 2, but also the first book. So welcome to the WineDown, Jay.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, so Jay, tell me tell the audience just a little bit more about yourself, where you come from, what inspired you.
Okay. So yeah, man, I'm originally from Florida, by the way, South Carolina, but I come from a home. My senior year in high school, I had 14 people living in a 3 bedroom. So growing up in that kind of environment, we really didn't talk about finance. We really didn't get educated on finance. And so joining the Navy at 18 years old, I knew nothing about what credit was. Like the first time I went to buy a car, the guy told me, you have no credit. And I'm like, well, shouldn't that be good? He was like, no, you have no credit. That's worse than having bad credit. And I'm like, well, how does that make sense? Because I didn't have the knowledge of it. So I wasn't educated. And, that I don't blame my parents for it, but it's in those communities, it's the systems that is built to not educate us on those things that we need for life. And being that part, going through the Navy, going through, everything in life impacts your finances, from getting married to having children. You just talked about it with Kanye, divorce, everything. And joining the Navy, they didn't really talk about that a lot as well. So I started putting myself around people that want to help better themselves and educate themselves. And that's what kind of inspired me, because when I had my own kids, I wanted them to not have those issues and be better on in life when they get in the real world, if they wanted to go to college, or if they didn't, they wanted to start their own business, and be prepared for that.
Yeah. We always say that your community and your community, people that you surround yourself with, they really do help define who you are. And as we continue to grow as business owners and entrepreneurs, I know that you know this, but if you are a part of this, if you're listening to this, if you want to grow yourself, grow your knowledge, you have to expand your crew, you have to expand the people, and they should be thinking about things that you're not thinking about and teaching. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room, right? I
Yeah.
always say that, man. So, I'll ask you, in were you born into money? You
Yeah.
said no already.
Yeah.
So I know you said that you basically learned from the people around you, but did you do a lot of self studying? How did you become educated enough to feel confident to write a book about it?
Oh yeah. It was a lot of self-studying. So the thing about, and I tell my son this all the time, have conversations, this generation has so many avenues and access to educating themselves. You have YouTube, you have financial channels, you have different people that you can educate yourself around. But that was my biggest thing. Some people, they led me in certain directions, but me seeing it and reading it and doing it myself was my biggest thing. And that's what made me confident. So, but definitely, yeah, self-education to me is the best education. So,
I keep hitting mute because if anything on my side make a noise, it cuts you out. So I'm trying to get better with that. So you'll
nah,
see me delay with that. But so one of the people that I follow is the UIL team, Earn Your Leisure. Do you follow them? Earn Your
yeah,
Leisure, Matt Garland. Um, yeah, I
yeah.
love them.
I actually met one of the guys. When I was at the Seven Figure Summit, because I have
Yep.
my mentor is actually Emmett Combs. He does one of the brokers here in Florida. He does Florida, Georgia, and I want to say Texas or some other place. But he's one of my mentors, and he invited me to the Seven Figure Summit, where I actually had my book and I sold out. But the jewels and knowledge that they put down there was just crazy. And putting yourself in those kind of environments and the networking got me in so many different places now that I didn't think I would be at. So,
Yeah,
but
I did a transition with Emmett Coles. I was referred to him for somebody in Florida. It
okay,
wasn't him, of course, it was a part of his team, but man, their systems are just, just he's definitely a real estate guru and a genius when it comes to the
yo,
real
I
estate market. So
crazy.
yeah, and Matt Garland, he's part of the EYL team. He really is up in New York. He goes by MG the Mortgage Guy. If you've never heard of MG the
Yeah.
Mortgage Guy, he dropped a million gems. Follow him on Instagram because he dropped a million gems about mortgages and how to get through it, how to get all types of lending. But anyway, yeah, I did a transaction with Matt Garland too. So that's
Okay.
pretty dope. Just kind of put my little, dropping that little nugget out there. But yeah, he's very
Definitely.
easy to contact too. So if anybody's looking to get lending through him, he has a lot of different tools for funding, and I can help you get access to him. So In your book, Jay, you talk, I really, so let's talk about the book. So the name of the book is called Rich Kids Biz. You're on social media as Rich Kids Biz right now. So please follow Rich Kids Biz if you're not, dropping a lot of jewels about financial literacy. And this is a way for kids to come together and kind of get motivated and inspired. But in your book, I really like the way that you use something so simple, talking about a candy store. I mean, there's so many candy ladies and kids selling candy out their book bag. What gave you that idea? Because you did so well with teaching about entrepreneurship, just talking about a candy store. I thought that was genius. Where did that idea come from for you?
It actually came from what you were talking about. You know, growing up in our environment, like you said, we always had a candy lady. I had a candy lady, Miss Johnson, 2 doors down from my mom's house. She had the freeze pops, all that kind of stuff. And I had a couple of friends that would sell candy in school. So my whole mind said, yo, what can we relate to? And that was it, to be honest. And I'm like, yo, what is the easiest to talk about? And I just ran with it from there, because everything I write about, even though it's I talk about business in it and I want things to actually have a meaning to it, but it's also a part of my life and what I've been through, and that I know that, people that know me are, people that I know are whoever read the book can relate to. So
Yeah.
definitely.
Definitely. It was a really good book, and I learned a lot, especially volume two. Volume two was deep. That went into a lot. It wasn't just about the candy store. And if you don't have the book, I have volume one printed. I have volume two on the Kindle, so I can't show you, but this is what
Oh,
the book
I got
looks like. Oh,
it.
I
Just
know you
volume.
got it, right? Volume one and volume two, Rich Kid Biz. Volume two goes very in depth, and you talk about the full body experience, um, the mind, body, physical fitness, eating right, making sure that you take time to properly sleep. What made you really want to go that deep? Because you did it very well, knowing that this is a children's book. But what made you feel like it was very important for you to touch those topics at this time?
So honestly, everything is going by my experience. So
Mm-hmm.
I wrote the first book, and I started getting into different business avenues. And like I said, my mentors I talked to, Emmett, like I said, one of the guys, he's my mentor. He was big on fitness. He does this thing where he does a running challenge with his business partners and people in his brokerage, and they record and they challenge each other. But I say that because this game, and it gets stressful at times. It's not easy as a lot of people may make it seem, but you have to still take care of yourself at the end of the day. How do you be productive if you're not taking care of yourself? You got to get
Absolutely.
the right amount of rest. You got to be physically ready to go to challenge some of these things you do, and definitely the mental aspect of it, because you have some days where everything is not going to be rainbows and sunshine. It's not going to be always be good, but you got to know how to, okay, maybe take a step back, take that break, get yourself into that better mindset in place so you can move forward. And I want kids to understand that, like, it's just not about the money aspect. It's a lot more into it than that. And I think the best way is to make sure you're hitting those different avenues to make sure you're good to go and keep focused and keep going. So
Yeah, it's a kid's book, but me reading it, I took a lot of nuggets out of it, and it's just so it's not just a kid's book, right? And I definitely don't think that you really didn't expect for us to get something out of it, because me reading it definitely inspired me to just look up some stuff. Some of it I was like, oh shit, okay, these are big terminologies, but I think about this generation of kids, and they're very smart, and they're very into this, and they're learning it. Did you ever think at any point that you was going too deep, or what made you feel like, hey, this is what they're into this, they want to know this? Like, what did you think about that?
no, I totally agree with you. This generation today is very smart. They're very educated, and they can really hold a conversation when it comes to talking about intelligently about finances and stuff like that. And when I wrote it, I didn't know what age group I was going to focus on. So, and like in part, if you notice, if I know you have seen it in the book as well, that for me, a lot of things when it comes to the big terminology, okay, I'm looking at like, what is that word? The biggest one was asset. What is an asset? I didn't know what that is. So what I did was make a glossary in the back so they can
Mm-hmm.
actually look up that terminology you see here, and they can read it. And then after that, for me, the thing is, and when I talk to people, because I've had adults come up to me and say, "Yo, I learned it more when I read your book when my child had it." But that sparks the conversation. You know, what is an asset? Let's break it down. Let's talk about it. You got the definition in here, but what truly does that mean? So I never really try to put an age limit on there, but like I said, so many like you talked about. I've had adults come up to me and be like, "Yo, I got a lot of stuff that I never knew," and it inspired me to try to learn more about
Yeah.
finance.
Yeah, it was great. And it was just very well done. I can't say it enough. Like it was very, very well laid out. And the storyline was very good. If you don't, this would be a great Christmas present. You got kids that are, it don't even matter. Buy it for yourself because even though it's broken down like, layman's term, very easy to read, it will spark if you're interested in anything entrepreneurship, it's gonna spark ideas that's gonna make you wanna continue to research and continue to look. So I appreciated the way that you did that. When you wrote these books, or when people know you and learn you, what about your mission statement do you want them to walk away, understanding or believing or knowing?
For me, with Rich Kid Biz, it's just starting a conversation. Like I said before, like I didn't have that conversation at home, and
Mm-hmm.
it's never too early to start that conversation about finances. And we have to make it a thing at home every day. I talked to one of my friends the other day, and I don't know if you guys did this, but we used to have dinner. We used to eat at the table. My mom would be like, "Hey, all us, we going, hey, it's dinner time, come eat." But we'll talk
Mm-hmm.
about stuff that happened through our day. Why don't we get back to the point where we're doing those things and we're also discussing finances? Why can't that be brought up? I thought back then when I was younger, it was just an adult conversation. Like, no, kids need to know these things. You got different things coming out these days, especially, I grew up playing basketball and football, and you got athletes that I'm talking to, they're getting these NIL deals, and they don't even know how to manage their money. They need to be educated on finance. And that starts at home, and that starts with us. My son, he plays AAU basketball. He actually plays in San Diego for Keenan Allen of the San Diego Chargers. But I
Mm-hmm.
told him when it's time for him to go to college and he got to talk about those deals, he need to be educated and know that he's understanding what he gets getting himself into, because I don't want him to be like, so many different athletes that come home and they have nothing. They spend, 10, 8, 5, whatever, how many years in the league, and they come back home with nothing because they didn't know how to manage their money. And that's
Yeah.
what we're talking about. So
Yeah. There's so many of these $100 million athletes who they're scared to get out because they don't know where their next check is going to come from. And that's, you think about somebody like me who got $150 in the bank and you got somebody with 150 million. It's like, wow, how do you not? But it's exactly like you said, we have to start learning and teaching. I think also it's not, I don't think that our parents, because parents failed to teach us, I don't think that they knew. When
exactly.
you barely live in paycheck to paycheck, go ahead.
Nah, I agree. I totally agree. Yeah. I was the same way. Like, I don't think they didn't do it on purpose. They just didn't have the knowledge. And if they
Hmm.
don't have the knowledge, they can't teach us. And that's why, even my mom now, we sit down and talk about it. She read both books, and she'd be like, "Baby, I ain't know nothing about this." And I'm like, "Yeah." Oh, and one of the big things I was teaching her how to take advantage of her credit. And she was always, I won't say afraid, but she didn't want to mess up her credit in certain ways, so she was very skeptical about doing certain things. And then,
Hmm.
um, you know how people are when it comes to selling stuff and all this kind of stuff. And she didn't know like some of the stuff with the interest rates. She'll purchase something and she got furniture or something like that, and they give her these high interest rates, but she don't fully understand the total amount that she's really paying back to these people is ridiculous. So, we discussed and talked about that, but like you said, like it's not their fault, but it's up to us to start making that change and to make it better.
Yeah, and to make sure that we're making sure that our people, our kids, our children, our friends, they have the knowledge so that they could, be better, so that they can grow and take advantage. Like you said she didn't know much about her credit. We talked about this on the wind down a few weeks ago. You know, it seems very simple, but knowing how to work your credit can make you a millionaire in itself, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So, Jay, It's a lot of people who want to write books. It's a lot of people who want to do a lot of things. What gave you the confidence to say, hey, I'm about to do this. Like, I'm doing this, period. Where did that confidence come from?
Honestly, it's a few things. Well, number one, my significant other, she pushed me to do it when we talked about it because we had these conversations about finance. My brother, he was already an entrepreneur himself. He Be Griffin Visuals. He does, media and photography and all that kind of stuff. And then my aunt, she has her own daycare, Shining Stars, and that she has had for the past, I want to say, almost 9, 10 years in Titusville, Florida. But I'm like, yo, I talked to my girlfriend, like, what can I do? And she was like, put it on paper, write it, get the illustrations, like, put it out there. And that's kind of what inspired me to do it. And then I had a cousin who wrote a book before herself. And I'm like, well, I don't know the first thing about writing a book. Like, what do I do? And the best advice I can give anybody who wants to write anything, write first. Write it down. Write everything down. Don't worry about nothing else. Write everything down first, and then you can start the process from there. But when I started my process for the first book, Rich Kid Biz Business Basics, I actually had a publisher, MTE Publishing, Kendra and Victoria Holmes. Those are the ones that helped me out. Two beautiful sisters. They helped me out because they have their own company, and they helped me publish in my first book. And with me, when I learned something, because it was me doing the first time, I'm like, when I learn something, I want to learn everything. So every
Mm-hmm.
step of the way, I was asking questions. And I was like, I pay, whatever I pay for the publishing, but I'm like, all right, how can I cut this cost next time? So I'm like, next time I'll do self-publish. So for book two, I wrote the whole thing on deployment last year. And everything just went through myself. So one of the biggest tools I use is called Fiverr, Fiverr. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
So that place is amazing. So that's where I found my illustrator. That's where I found my
Wow.
editor, and basically everything I needed to help me publish my own book. And I published my book through Ingram Spark. That's Percept Publishing. So, and that distributes my book to Target, to Barnes and Nobles, to all the book outlets out there. So, and that's how I did it. Like, I self-educated myself on that first term, failed at some things. I'm not gonna lie, but I learned, and I educated myself to do better on this time. So, and make sure I can get more money in my pocket on the next run. So,
Gems, man. A gem. Hey, he just dropped a bunch of gems. So if you got questions about anything that he asked about, reach out to me, reach out to him directly. Amazon, Walmart, Books a Million. Yes, you can find it there. I bought mine on Amazon, easy, just like everything else with Amazon. But go and find this book. But anything that he just dropped, if you got questions about that, hit me up, hit him up, and I will make sure to get the answer back for you because that was a bunch of gems. If you missed it, hey, but ask questions and you don't have to just think about this. You can always reach out to us. Easy to reach out to. Get in
yeah.
touch with us and we'll answer those questions for you again. So you wrote the whole book by yourself, so you didn't have a ghostwriter or anything like that. What
Nah,
about editing? How did that work? Like
nah,
I just
I ain't Drake.
Drake got hits though. Drake
But
got smashes.
um nah, I didn't have a ghostwriter. I wrote it myself. I'm actually a talented writer. I think I am. To be honest, my first dream when I was a kid, growing up, I used to watch BET and a lot of movies. And I told this story a couple of times. My mom, she loves garage selling. She loves garage selling and going to the flea market. And she knew I love sports, so I love collecting cars and I love movies. So she would buy me movies, the VHS tapes. I know a lot of kids don't know that, but that was our back in the day. But she would buy all these tapes from these garage sales and stuff. And, she was like, hey, I got this new thing. I know you like this. And I would just watch them. And going to school, I was like, yo, I'm going to be a director one day. I'm going to be a writer. So when I was in class, I had this teacher named Mr. Strack. He was my English teacher. And he told me, like, Mr. Counsel, you're a very good writer. And I never, like, I joined the Navy and I kind of like fell back on that dream. But that was always my first dream, is to be a director and a writer. And, God blessed me to be a writer in a different way and to educate. So putting it on paper, and hopefully I can get, Rich Kid Biz will have their own movie one day. Um,
Absolutely.
and that's the goal. So yeah, definitely.
Yes, Rich Kid Biz you will direct it I'm gonna go and watch it. I'm gonna bring all my friends because that's amazing. We got a few comments in the chat, so I'm gonna go to the chat real quick
Okay.
and just make sure we didn't miss anything. So sounds amazing. Monica said she's definitely gonna order it. Charity asked, how long did it take to write the book?
So the first book, it took about, I want to say, 6 months, but in total to get it published and everything after editing and reviews, it probably was 9 months. So it's a process. It can be quicker, but it depends on what you're writing. My book is no normal children's book. And I say that not trying to disrespect any other children's book, but I wanted to have the glossary in there with terminology. I want to have photos to grab your attention, and I wanted the people to relate to it. So I definitely took a lot of detail, and you already know how we are. We come from the Navy. We teach, like, we make sure we real thorough about what we do and making sure everything is right and in the right place. So when we produce that product, that's the product we they definitely gonna have and look at it as a great product. So,
Yeah,
but
it
yeah.
was a great product. Charity says she always wanted to write, but she keep getting stuck on the first chapter. Any advice to her to get through that writer's block moment?
Yes. I would tell her every day she should devote a time to write. If it's an hour, if it's 30 minutes a day, she should take a time and write until she's done. Don't let anybody stop or anything stop her from what she wants to do. Um, we and we sit here, and I've done it myself. We'll sit here and say we want to do something, but we let obstacles get in the way. But I think the best thing to do is take the time back and make a point for yourself to, hey, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna allot this time for myself out of the day. I'm not gonna have any distractions, and I'm gonna do this because I have a goal I want to reach. And for me, the biggest thing is writing things down and make sure I have a timetable for that realistic goal.
Yeah. And you're a reflection of that because you just said that you wrote this while on deployment. And, deployments is a lot. That's a lot. I don't know what people's schedules are, but on deployment, you're pretty much on watch 24/7. Even though you're
Yeah,
working, you may only be sitting at the console. I say console because I was an air traffic controller. So you may only be sitting at the scope for 6 hours on, get off for 6 hours, 6 hours back on, and in those 6 hours off, you got to sleep, you got to eat, you got to, find time to do everything. But it's a reflection of who you are as a person to show that in this timeline, you was able to do something that people who aren't on deployment is able to do. So yeah, where did that come from?
man,
Where did that,
it,
because
it
that's
was
internal fortitude.
it was a lot, man. Because during that time it was difficult. We were there. I was on the Iwo Jima, so we were there for the evacuation for Afghanistan. And I was sitting air at the time, so you know how that watch go. And I was getting probably 2 to 3 hours of sleep a day. At the same time, my girlfriend was pregnant with our first daughter. So that was challenging. She was doing that a lot by herself, being home, trying to call her every day, check up on her when we had, the ability to call back home. And to be honest, my purpose is my why. And that's what everything that I do. What is my why? I ask that question to myself. What is my why? Why am I doing this? So losing sleep some days, staying up and making sure I write. And like I told, your friend who asked the questions, I allotted myself like, all right, today I'm going to the gym. But on Tuesday, I'm gonna take that hour instead of going to the gym, I'm gonna write because I need to get this book done before I get back. And that was my goal. My why is my family, my kids, and my community where I come from. And my ultimate goal is to make us better and whole as a people, and impact as many people as that came before I leave this earth. So
That's awesome. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, where did you find your publishing and all that? You already said Fever. I can't pronounce it. I know
yeah, Fiverr.
Fiverr. Yeah,
So, yeah.
Fiverr.
So
I know you
Fiverr,
already said.
and the first one I went to is called MTE Publishing.
Uh-huh.
So if you go to my Instagram or my Facebook, they're definitely on there. They're very good. They helped me with my first book. But then, like I said, I self-published the second one, and I went through Ingram Spark for that one. So with that one, it's easy. It's pretty easy. Like I said, go to Fiverr, find your editor. You can basically explain the format of what you're trying to do, the book you're trying to do, and they'll give you a list of editors to help you out with your book. They'll give you your
Yeah.
prices, you name your price, and then they'll help you with that. If you're trying to write a book with illustrations, you can find a lot of dope illustrators on there, and they have
Yeah.
good prices. And then after that, with Ingram Spark, it basically teaches you the format for that. So long as you got the format down, and most of them know how to do it, all you do is upload that book. When you're done, it's going to be in a PDF file. And then when it's done and it's complete, they'll let you know, and then they'll start letting you know when it's going to be distributed to all the book outlets. So
So the cool thing about it is I've seen Fiverr, and I've used them for like to help me create one of my business cards before, to help me create a business card design.
mhm.
I know that they do websites, but you use Fiverr to start your book, and I've always been in like, okay, I don't really know these people, you know,
Yeah.
but you ended up, and I gotta toot your horn a little bit, and y'all throw some claps in the chat for my brother, because he had his face all over New York Times Square promoting his book. So he went from being on a small ass rack writing
Yeah.
a book to being the face of New York Times Square. That's pretty dope, brother. I got to give you props to that,
Thank
because I
you.
mean, I know that it take a lot of people and support and love around you to make something like that happen. But it happened, and I was really, really excited to see that. So throw some claps in the chat for my brother, because
Thank you.
that's huge.
That definitely goes out to my family and my supporters. They are the key to making this thing work. Like, you got to have a good support team, and that was I'm gonna be real. That was probably one of the most impactful things I've ever had happen to me in my life, besides my kids and my girl and my family. But yeah, man, when I saw that, I was like, what? And I'm standing there, and people are like, yo, that's you. I'm like, yeah, that's me.
I
Yeah,
need to
it
get
was.
on there. Hey, Nina, you on? I need to get on there. When I seen it, I was like, that's my boy. That is everything. I mean, it seems small. You know, some people can see that it's small, but I mean, you like I tell people on the wind down all the time, like, I'm just Ronesha. Like, I didn't do nothing special. Like, to be here, to have this opportunity, you know. And you say you just came from a town, 14 people, very small town, like no privilege, nothing. And God allowed you to be on the face of Times Square. And man, that's a huge blessing. And He put it in the hands of the right person, because you honor that responsibility. Like, it's a lot of responsibility that comes with being on Times Square, right?
Yeah,
But He put it in the hands of the right person, because you honor that. You do right by people. I've always known you to do right by people. um Kaiser said that's huge. Kaiser giving you a lot of love throughout the chat. But yeah, that's
yeah.
huge. I had to put that out there for the people, because
No,
I'm not letting that slide
I,
by. Yeah, can I don't I'm pretty sure this is your girlfriend, but what's your girlfriend's name?
Etta.
Is she Etta? Okay.
Yeah, the ball.
Etta. Yeah. Etta Etta
Yeah,
told
that's my number one supporter right there.
hey,
So
that's
I
all
say,
you need.
when I say she makes stuff happen, she makes stuff happen. She has put me in a lot of places that I never thought I'd be at, and gave me a lot of good connections. And honestly, she showed me how to network. That's one of the biggest things in this business.
Hmm.
You know me, like you know how I do. Like, I'm cool with a lot of people. I know how to move, but I didn't know the networking aspect of it.
Hmm.
And I definitely learned a lot from her on that part of the game, and I'm still learning. So she definitely teaches me a lot, and she be on me about a lot of different stuff. So she be like, you gotta wear this suit, or you gotta wear that. You know how I get. I be wearing
Yeah, that's
like
dope.
jogging pants and a t-shirt. She be like, nah, you gotta put on a suit. Like,
And she get you right, and that's why you on Times Square. Shout out
exactly.
to Etta. Hey, be always I see this, and I believe that it's very true. You know, whatever. I don't know if Jay-Z said it or not. You know, people always make it seem like they saying some stuff, but they never say. But you know, Jay-Z said, you don't just build with one. I don't need somebody at home. I need a partner. I need somebody that is equally building me up, and everything that she's doing, investing in you. That's the right partnership. So congratulations. Thank you, Etta, for making my boy better. Not letting him wear them sweatpants.
Hey, with my sweatpants
So
flops, man.
she
Oh,
put you in the right places.
that's,
I'm
that's,
gonna go through the chat real quick to kind of take over. Yeah, Etta said, take over the theaters. We're 100% here for it. We're going to have a Rich Kid Biz cartoon and all that. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to seeing it. Yeah.
definitely.
Hey, what's the little emblem thing you talk about in the book? I forgot what it was called. You
Oh, the
talk
go,
about how they wear the
yeah,
lapel?
go,
Yeah.
Rich Kids lapel. Yeah, we're gonna have.
Everybody gonna be all the kids wearing the Rich Kid. Can they order that? Can we get that for real? Or is that just in the book?
Oh no, I'm in the process of getting it made right now. So when I
Oh
drop,
yeah.
y'all gonna know. Because honestly, what my next thing I'm gonna work on is I want to start advertising a lot of these kids, because we have a lot of young kids that are actually doing business right now and
Mm-hmm.
are entrepreneurs. And I have a few in the new book. We talk about my friend Chip Mitchell, his daughter and his niece, they have a shirt company. And then I have my best friend, Andre Felder. He's up in Georgia. His daughters have I think it's like trinkets and stuff that they build and create, like arts and craft, and they sell their stuff and make money from that as well. They're both in the Rich Kid Biz 2 Health Plus Wealth Gold Edition. And I wanted to shout them out and advertise them so they're in the book. But what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to create a segment, and probably like weekly, when I just shout these young entrepreneurs out, because there's a lot of them out there doing great things, and they want to
Yeah.
learn. They're very willing to learn. So.
Yeah, I think everything that you said is in the book as far as them being able to get on the Facebook page and all that stuff, having that lapel, making them a part of some kids want to be a part of something that they feel bigger, just like we do. I
Yeah,
mean, we're excited to be Chiefs for a reason, right?
exactly.
But kids want to be a part of something. I think that's gonna really, really take you guys to the next level. So that's dope. I want a pen. Can I get a pen? I
You
want
know,
a lapel.
you know, I
I'm gonna keep going to the chat. Oh yeah, she said you had a whole baby on the way. I got a little bit behind, so give me a second, people. I
no,
got a little bit behind in the chat.
okay.
Um, so everybody just giving you love. That's huge. Kaiser
I,
said,
thank you so much.
yeah. All right. Slides and sweats. So I got a couple more questions. If anybody have any questions, because we're getting ready to start wrapping it up, I got a few more questions. You got any particular questions, go ahead and get them in the chat so we can make sure that they get answered for you. But my next question for you is, and you've already said it, but I want you to say it again. Any advice for people with the desire to write a book and actually have it published? Any advice?
Yeah, my thing is like I've said the first time, the first thing is right.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid, and when, after you write, like I said, go to Fiverr, find that publisher, that editor, or whatever, and if your artist you want to look for. But don't be afraid. Like, everybody has a story. It don't matter what you want to write, man. Just write, man. Let's get back to that. Let's get back to reading. Let's get, I know we're in a social media world where everything's is, on a phone or whatever, but there are people out there that still read books, and they want that out there. So yeah, just write.
Yeah, Etta said, write and have fun. I love that. Have fun. That's important too. Again, how can people purchase the book? Just lay it out there one more time for the people who wasn't
So
on.
first, I would tell you to go to my website, which is www.richkidbiz.org. You can purchase it from there, or you can go on Amazon, Walmart, Target, Barnes and Nobles, all those resources you have to purchase the book. If you purchase the book from my site, you will also have my autograph on there, personally by me, and then from the other sites you can get it from there. But I'm gonna probably do a Christmas sale and bring the prices down, and then I'm gonna give away some as well. So.
Awesome. So y'all heard that first from the man himself. Make sure you get on his website, get that discount, get that autograph for your kids this Christmas. We want to get all our kids learning about this stuff because it's never too early to start teaching our kids about financial literacy. How can people follow you, Jay?
So you can follow me on Facebook at Rich Kid Biz, and also at my IG Rich Kid Biz as well. And then, like I said, we also have our website, which is www.richkidbiz.org. So any of those resources, you can definitely follow me.
Awesome. Cassandra wanted to know which one is best to get more money in your pocket. If they order your book, they want to make sure they supporting you. So which out of those options make sure you get the most money in your pocket?
Book two, because I newly released book two. It's about
But where to
$5.
purchase it? Where to purchase it?
Oh, my website. So go to my website, and that'll get more money in my pocket. Purchase it from the other sites, you know, they got to take a percentage, but you purchase from our website, it's definitely more. And everybody, I just want y'all to let y'all know that it's free shipping if you order from my website. So you don't have to pay for no shipping. I take care of that, and you're good to go. So.
Awesome, Jay. Thank you so much for being here and being part of the WineDown team. So excited to have you guys. This is Jay Council, or James Council in the book. So I want to make sure we get that right. It's James Council, the author, go by Jay, right?
Yeah, I go by Jay. But one of the biggest things I want to tell people when it comes to business is never limit yourself to your price. One aspect of it is, for example, and it's actually happened, that you're going to have people that say certain things about, okay, your price is maybe this or this and that, but you're a business person. Your price is your price. Nobody can label what you put into and the hard work you gave to producing whatever product you create. Whether that's real estate, whether that's writing a book, whether that's selling t-shirt, I don't care what it is. Never let somebody limit you and tell you what your price is. I've had friends that tell me, like, you're not gonna, you know, do nothing with a children's book. You know, some people say, well, why are you selling the children's book at this price? But at the end of the day, that's my work. That's what I put into you. I've told you my story about doing this on deployment, have a child on the way, missing my kids and my family. And I put that work into it, but I also did it to educate people, and nobody can sit here and tell me what price I can put on my product. And also, networking. We don't win this thing unless we are together. You put me in this place, giving me the opportunity to speak in this room, in this environment. I thank you, and I appreciate you for that. I have so many people that have reached out to me just because I've wrote this book. I've made so many different new friends and associates that, you know, I talk to and work with. Just the other day, one of the original people who I work with is named Tara Gibson. She has an all Black nonprofit. It's called All Black, and it's a nonprofit. She works in the communities with underprivileged kids, and she does a lot of different things with athletes and stuff like that. She was the first person to ever purchase my book to, like, a group of people, and she did it for JT Hassel, which is a former football player for the Browns and the Jets. He now plays overseas in Canada. But those people who I initially worked with, those are the people who put my book out there and started networking for me. She just actually talked to Andrew Gooding of he's the #4 pick in the draft. He played with LeBron. I think he did 12 or 13 years in the NBA, and he was an all-star as well. He's a commentator actually for the Washington Wizards. She introduced my book to him. Now my book will be at his next basketball camp for April. Like, that's crazy.
That's
So,
amazing.
but it goes back to us looking out for each other and networking and being there for each other. And that's why it doesn't take much to, like, share, or, you know, just showing people, okay, my friend has this business. Even if you don't purchase it, put it out there. And I try to do that with everybody I'm connected with. If you ever, when you get the book too, you will notice, and I took a different approach in this because it's a lot of different people, like I said, that are in my life now that are entrepreneurs, and they show me a lot of love. I put a lot of them, and they are real characters that are in my book. So Emmett is a character in my book. Tyra is a character in my book. Suge is a character in my book. And all these people, my brother is a character in my book. All these people who dedicated something to me, I wanted to show them love and appreciation by writing them in the story and being contributors. So.
That's dope. That's dope. Anything else? I don't
Nah,
have any more questions in the
nah.
comments.
So nah, but thank you. I appreciate all y'all. I appreciate the love, and I definitely appreciate you for having me and being here. Thank you so
I'm
much.
glad that you're here. So again, this is Jay Council. I'm Ronesha Nation, broker owner of Our Nation Realty. If you know anybody looking to buy or sell real estate, please have them give me a call.
Oh yeah,
I
I could be coming to Cali.
hey, you know my
You already know.
No, but definitely we gotta take care of them for sure. So I'm excited for you guys to be here. Hey, continue to look at this to the wind down. This is the last wind down of the year. We're gonna kick off January strong. We got a lot of great people coming. We have Melanie Melvin. She's gonna come and do our intro, get us all hyped and ready for the new year. I have an actor coming. His name is Kerry Pless. He was on the Atlanta show. He was on the First Lady show. Huge box office movies. He's going to come and talk about that process of entrepreneurship. We have engineers. We have so many people coming to the WineDown. So stay tuned in Wednesday nights, 5:30, 8:30 Eastern time. And if you have any questions about today, anything about what Jay was talking about, please hit me up. Hit up Jay. He gave you guys his social media. One more time, say your social media, Jay, for the people who want to follow you.
Facebook and Instagram is going to be Rich Kid Biz. And then on my website is www.richkidbiz.org. And let me not forget another sailor that served with us on the USS America. I gotta give a shout out to Shasha of Barks Organics. She does the organic treats for pets and stuff like that, dogs, cats, whatever. But her website is really dope. If you ever check her out, Barks Organics, it's a really dope site. She does a lot of good things. That's another good person to look at. So get your dogs
out.
What's her last name? Nunes, Nunes. I don't know how you say it.
Okay.
But yeah, she has a lot of dope stuff on there.
Barks Organics.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Thanks, Kaiser. Appreciate that.
Yeah, her stuff is dope, man. So y'all got pets, hey, get her
stuff.
Dog,
got dogs.
Get some stuff, but maybe I need to go get a dog. So
Sasha Nunes.
I'm gonna talk with Ed and see if we get a dog.
Look at Brian sitting on the floor. They're doing good tonight.
Definitely. So, but yeah, again, I appreciate everything.
Thank you guys. Thank you for being here. Stay tuned in. See you guys next year. Have happy holidays. Peace.
All right. Peace.